in fairness, they've tried. In fairness, they have actually tried to defend the family because someone did raise the collar of the baby, and they didn't say who that was.
What?
We could guess.
That's not defending the family. That's smearing all of them. That's smearing all of them. They've never said who it was.
No,
everyone is in the frame.
Under the bus, but the point is, it's not about one thing. So if you look at her media presence, like that first story when it came out, they were dating.
Are you sure about that?
Straight out of Compton. I mean, that's blatantly
one
racist
headline in an otherwise positive feature, which actually was wrong by 9 miles.
It wasn't a positive. There wasn't a positive.
She actually came from an area of it. Listen, I know Kahindi. I know LA. I know where Compton is. I know where she was brought up. It's about 8-9 miles away.
Okay.
The story was off by 8-9 miles.
Exactly.
The feature wasn't actually remotely derogatory about her.
No, but Peter, they have to look at the. For example, you're saying that she was a diva. She was mean to people. She wasn't. She was just acting in a way that many royals act. But she became seen as this aggressive black woman. She's a diva. That's racism.
I've never seen anybody call her an aggressive black woman. Hang on, Kahindi again. I never saw anybody use her colour in the British media as a stick to attack her ever.
So that was a f***ing lie.
Never saw it. It never happened. It's an absolute lie. Nor have I seen any evidence that anyone in the royal family was ever racist to either of them.
So there are a number of people who've put together comparisons. You know, how is Kate treated? Kate does one thing and is treated this way. Meghan does one thing, is treated a different way.
Kate's had millions of negative headlines.
Nobody goes around saying the N-word anymore.
What do you mean by that?
And you're saying it's only because of Meghan's skin colour? Really?
What I would say, I think when you have an institution which is overwhelmingly white, which is only a story she's in it because she's black in the first place. If she wasn't black, we wouldn't be talking about all of this. Who then treats her in a way which is clearly problematic. She then leaves and says, look, I experienced racism and thought about committing suicide. It was so bad. I think we would have to say, yeah.
Well, I want to see the evidence of that too, I'm afraid, because she said a senior person at Buckingham Palace told her she couldn't have help for her suicidal thoughts because it would be bad for the brand of the palace. Who was that person, and when did that conversation happen? Because like a lot of what Meghan Markle says, none of it is borne out by actual evidence. It's just her saying it, playing the mental health and suicide card, playing the race card, damaging the monarchy, damaging the royal family.
The royal family. There is lots of evidence that the royal family's press machine is essentially like the mafia, and you can't just say what you like.
They're like the mafia.
We know this. I mean, to suggest that that's not true.
The mafia was a murderous group of people who killed people for fun. Is that what you're likening the British royal?
Well, the Royal African. Can I just point out the Royal African Company was the company which enslaved the most people that look like me in the history of this planet.
Are you serious?
So actually, yes, the royal family actually does have a murderous past. And it's a racist past and a deeply colonial past. So actually, yes.
Right. And you think they're still murdering people?
It's not morally in a superior position.
Do you think they're still murdering people?
I think the point...
How many people have the royal family murdered in your lifetime, Gainsey?
How many people has the system that your royal family represent murdered in my lifetime? Millions, actually. I mean, this is the problem, right? We talk about the Commonwealth like it's this benign thing.
It's only a problem if you think they're still doing it, fine, but they're not, are they? Look, let me go back to Robert. This is the problem. The problem is... Okay, anyway, just going to go to Robert for a second.
What the fuck?
The problem with these conversations is that, again, there's no substance to it other than go back in history and say that hundreds of years ago, the colonial Britain, led by the royal family, behaved in a bad way. We know that, and they've been apologising throughout the last 60 years for it.
We do not care.
Yeah, but I mean, this is also about accuracy, isn't it? And this documentary, I can only speak as I find. There was one particular moment where I was on a pole position in South Africa, inside Archbishop Tutu's compound, his house, and they used that photograph of them walking away, holding the baby, to say, with a lens in the picture, to suggest that was intrusive by the paparazzi.
We're seeing the picture here now.
That's the narrative. That photograph was taken with 3 people standing there on the pole position. I was standing next to Sarah Latham, I'll name them, Sarah Latham, the press secretary, who had arranged the position with them. And
so that was all official, all agreed.
And then we went from there into the late Archbishop Tutu's house, where they had tea and showed the baby again. The press couldn't show pictures of that baby under the regulations that we now have agreed since the death of Diana.
Okay.
And what upsets me about this documentary, but I think else, is they've used all of these things. Harry says he can't remember a lot about his childhood with Diana, apart from the fact that there were a lot of paparazzi. Yet he's utilising Diana, the fame of Diana, in this documentary.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
And he's utilising that to get an old narrative across. And the British media has changed enormously.
And by the way,
then.
the reason he's doing it is he's getting $90 million
Well, that's
from
bottom
Netflix,
line.
right?
Bottom line.
What?
He's doing the very thing he's accused the tabloids of doing when his mother was alive, which is using her image, and everything about her
the Panorama interview.
for commercial gain. Right, exactly.
The Panorama
Robert, going to leave it there. Thank you very much indeed for joining me. Kahindi, thank you very much indeed for joining me. Coming next, Harry and Meghan wield Princess Diana's memories, as we just discussed, to defend them.
Oh my goodness. My love.
So much of what Meghan is and how she is so similar to my mum.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
She has the same compassion, she has the same empathy, she has the same confidence. She has this warmth about her.
Well, joining me now, a royal correspondent for Vanity Fair, Katie Nicholl, Princess Diana's former butler, Paul Burrell, and historian and author, Dr. Tessa Dunlop. Well, Paul, you and I had lunch with Princess Diana and young Prince William, who's 13, at Buckingham Palace.
Wow.
At Kensington Palace, I'm sorry. You were the butler, served a very nice meal, I have to say. 2 hours with Diana, and she was completely charming, compassionate, empathetic, and all those things. I also knew Meghan Markle, who, in my estimation, from everything that happened before, during and after, when I knew her, is a complete piece of work, devoid of any real compassion, witness her father and the family, devoid of empathy, who's taken this prince away from his family now and is trying to exploit the royal titles for maximum gain.
What?
That is not what Diana did.
No.
She never was in it for personal gain.
Not a penny.
When you heard Harry say that, has he lost his mind?
I'm gobsmacked. You cannot compare Princess Diana to Meghan.
How? Hold on, bro. How?
They are two totally different creatures in totally different spaces at totally different times. And if you had lived with her for 10 years, as I did, I can honestly say there is no comparison to Princess Diana.
Tess?
None.
Paul, I mean, Harry's a man in love. He's in love with Meghan, and his memory of Diana is one from when he was a 10 and 11-year-old boy.
Yes.
Is he in love, or is he, as Donald Trump told
he's in
me?
love.
Have we got the Donald Trump clip?
Oh, do we have to play the Donald Trump clip?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Have we got it? This is what Donald Trump said. It wasn't really love he thought was the problem. Let's listen to this. Here we go. It's coming. It's the magic of live television.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you.
We don't care.
Harry is whipped. Do you know the expression whipped?
I'm familiar with the phrase.
I won't use the full expression. But Harry is whipped like no person I think I've ever seen.
The most whipped man in the world.
I don't know, that's going to be a big one, but he is a whipped man, yeah.
Yeah, the full expression is he's pussy whipped.
I don't want to take my advice on romance and love from two Neanderthal men over 50. Damn! Quite frankly, I think you're all missing the point. I thought the main takeaway message, which you could learn from, and all three of us could probably be humiliated by, was the relationship, the crony relationship between the British press and the palace.
Okay.
There's mutual dependency
Which was
there that's
massively...
corrupting.
Sorry.
No, it's corrupting. It has been throughout the 20th
If I may ask
century.
you, as a former tabloid newspaper editor for 10 years,
yes.
I know more about that relationship than you do, with great
No,
respect.
historically, I probably know
actually,
more about
than you do, because I was on the sharp end
I can
of it.
test that,
The
please.
idea that somehow there was some collusion...
So that was a f***ing lie.
Collusion between the newspapers and the journalists at
Can
Buckingham Palace.
Can I just jump in, having covered the royals for the best part of 15 years? Let me just tell you, and one of the things that annoyed me so much in what Harry said was the idea that we are just a royal rota.
What?
that are just drip-fed material from the house. If only it was that easy. His contempt for the British media is so apparent.
What about this? This is a guy whining about the media. What's he done since he left
jumped
royal
into
duty?
bed with the media, hasn't he?
He's now on James Corden's bus top. He's doing Oprah Winfrey. He's doing a Netflix reality show. The guy never stays off of using the media.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
All he wanted was cash.
And what we need to be honest about is the predominantly conservative press rely on access to the royal family for their scoops, for their biographies. Even I, as a historian, if I go too far, will I get into the Royal Archive? The truth is, it's compromising. And if we'd all done our job properly, maybe there would be a royal household which has more than 10% ethnic minority employees.
Are you serious?
The truth is that Harry has always attacked tabloids, including ones that I used to edit, for exploiting the royal family for commercial gain. Now he is exploiting his hatred of the royal family for commercial gain.
Me personally, I wouldn't take this level of disrespect.
Even using his own mother, the late Princess Diana, to do that for money, for hard dollars.
I concede that Harry
and it is
far
disgusting
from perfect.
hypocrisy.
I concede he's not perfect.
His mother would be very unhappy.
She'd be furious
about what is happening now because it upsets William, it upsets Kate, and those boys had a pact that these interviews.